This week on Dr. Drew After Dark, that meth is always violent. Always, always.
Yeah, that's the fun thing you taught us. Meth is always violent. It might be
very
VR.
sad.
It might be VR porn.
But you're right.
I don't know if you tried it. It's pretty spectacular.
Really?
Why don't you fuck your wife instead of smoke cigarettes? And don't start eating, because then you're going to get fat. Sorry, you're giving me major anxiety.
So hold on. So let me just tell you. Welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Yeah, everybody, welcome to Dr. After Dark. Very special Dr. After Dark. Phone number 818-253-1693. And of course, the emails at drafterdark@gmail.com. The one and only Christina P. joins me today. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
What an honor for me to be here with you, and especially taking live calls, which is, it's such a skill and a talent, and something I've listened to when you were in K-Rock, and I love your ability to do this.
So we have resurrected live calls here on the computers. You can call in, you can talk to us, and we will do our thing. We'll talk to you all. It's going to be so fun. And Christina's part of this maiden journey. And we'll also do the usual stuff. We'll look at some video clips, and we'll do some emails, and talk to the booth boys, all that good stuff. But before we start, there's an email here that caught my eye. By the way, how did our Where My Mom's At do when we followed up on?
Oh my God, I had people texting me like, "Hey, I don't mean to sound like a stalker," like who I'm friends with at my school. That episode with Dr. Drew in relationships, I listened to it 2 times, 3 times.
Oh my!
It hit hard.
Oh.
So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's an episode where we go back and review a voicemail of this woman who's like, "It dries my vag when my
husband has emotional
has
needs."
Feelings. This is a few episodes back. The last one.
Oh my God.
You're going to die. And then Drew and I get deep on relationships and men and women, and I found it very helpful. And I think listeners did too.
And you know, I don't remember if we said
Episode
this.
175.
Amazing.
I don't remember if we said this. No feelings. There it is. It's that one.
No
or is it Men Have Feelings Too? Which one is there? Both of them.
Yeah,
we did
which
them
one?
both.
Shit.
But that you couldn't even have this conversation.
Men have feelings
two
too.
years ago, or even a year ago, you weren't allowed to talk about male, female as
that's
a
interesting.
thing. You know, you'd get canceled for just bringing up biology and psychology, and
I know.
it's coming back. The truth, as you've repeatedly told. Thank you very much, everybody. You know what this is?
Sensibility, sense came back. I think because the pendulum needed to go wild, and now we're all kind of getting out of it.
Needed to go wild. I don't know about that.
Well, it's change, and a lot of good things come out of change, right? Like trans acceptance is now bigger than ever. Great.
Yes. A
Equality,
lot of the
great.
overreaction created some things that really needed to be done, but we need to come back to reality.
Except for, I do have a beef that I do think it's stupid if your pronouns are like the ones that everyone thinks they are. It's a tad obnoxious and redundant to be like, Christina P, she, her. Like, no shit, dummy. You know what I mean?
Yes. And the flip side, I don't. That's why
it's obnoxious.
We will not be calling you she, her. We will just
Please.
be calling you she, her. We won't have to announce your she, her. But more than that, what actually bothers me also is the they, thems that get wounded and are so upset if somebody doesn't get it right.
No.
Why? That'd be like saying if somebody didn't get my name right, I would be destroyed.
Destroyed.
I could give a fuck.
Destroyed. You give a fuck. It's how you identify as Drew Pinsky. Well, what I like to do? I believe in grassroots efforts. And so there's a they, them that I see at the Starbucks I go to. And she, gosh, I always get in trouble when I specify because Austin's so tiny. And she likes to dress oddly, but in a way that does definitely court attention. Okay,
fine.
The purpose.
Good for her. Look at your shoes.
I
Gout
love
shoes.
it. I'm always Gout. For those of you who don't know, these are just fucking
Gout
outstanding.
These are
boots.
awesome.
These
Look
are
at those.
like,
yes.
I mean,
those are shit kickers.
I keep it real, but on the down low.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna put it out there, expect a little pushback.
Something.
So
not
what
even
I
a
like,
pushback, just
to fuck with
the
you.
attention that you're looking for.
Yeah, so I like to give they, them the attention they're craving.
Sure.
I might say something stupid like, "Oh, you're wearing a dog collar. Are you into pup play?" And they get very upset with me. And
Why?
Tom's always like,
Why?
Tom's always like, "Gosh, you look so embarrassed," and I embarrass her. I don't know. Tom is amused by me, and then probably rightly so embarrassed.
He's shyer than he should be.
Way socially more not the same way I am, which is why we balance.
Yes.
But I believe in fucking with them. That's my job as a Gen Xer to to fuck with you a little bit because you're asking for it. You're asking for it.
Gen Xers have become the boomers. Okay,
Oh,
Xer.
I love it. Can I tell you something? I love the boomers too. I know everybody, and you fucking boomer. Yeah, but you know what? They changed the world and they still had fun. You guys were doing LSD and fucking in dirt ditches. These crybabies now are like, Twitter, you said something offensive, cancel. Like, why are you upset?
Do you know
what are you crying about?
Sex is way down. People are not having sex right now.
Of course, well, because it's so dangerous socially.
Because people get canceled or Me Too'd or something from it?
Well, yeah, I imagine.
But there's 10% that are having shit tons. They're having it all for everybody else. And then the majority are having...
my staff right there.
Oh, they're doing it? Oh, look at that.
Hell
Good for you
No
guys.
fucking dorks. No dorks allowed on this staff. Sorry, but they're down because they're such wimps that they don't understand courtship because they're not being encouraged to court.
I guess, or if women are being so tough on men that they're just like, I'll stay with my porn, forget it, and it's not worth it.
It might be
it's very
VR.
sad.
It might be VR porn.
But you're right.
I don't know if you tried it. It's pretty spectacular.
Really? Do I need a VR thing?
It's embarrassing that I know someone that
might have tried it. Well, now you're tempting me. I need to do this. I need to do research.
It's pretty great.
Which of these guys got you into it?
It's got to be Annie. He's our tech
saying.
guy. You ask Annie.
Do you know which system I need to do this properly?
I mean, probably the Oculus, but like I don't.
That's the one.
I know that.
That's the one I have. Yeah, Red Band told me which one to get.
Oh, Red
the
Band.
Oculus.
Okay.
It's pretty amazing,
Okay.
and there's a lot of free VR porn. I'm just saying.
So is it the same thing as YouTube porn and stuff?
No,
no, but I mean in terms of how you find it, is like a site you go to.
I'll tell you when we're off, Mike, how to get the good free stuff.
You'll introduce me to the person that does that.
It is wild, Dr. Drew. It's like you're really
there.
Like,
oh my!
I feel like, am I cheating? This is bad. I'm like, I don't think I should.
Shall I eat your pussy?
Wow. Oh my god.
That was terrifying.
That was
from The Great. Did you watch
The
Great?
Yeah. That's of course I remember the scene.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So here's an email I want to read you. Booth Boys Drew, Christina, wondering if I secretly or a part of me secretly hates my wife.
Yes. Everyone does secretly, partially.
Well, here's even more.
If you're asking,
I'm
yes.
a 23-year-old male, so he's 23.
Yeah.
She clipped his youth.
Yikes.
Who is pretty nicotine dependent, but which I know is not good, but to be honest, helps me with focusing during the day. Or just don't do tobacco. You can use all the nicotine you want. Don't do tobacco. When I come home, I do not use it. And normal things that my wife does that normally I'd love irritates the hell out of me. I don't really think that's part of me hates her. I just want to know what this may be. Thanks again. Piss on me, beat me, and touch my cat through the fence. So he may be in nicotine withdrawal when he comes home, and then associating the cues that she gives him with these withdrawal symptoms. And so it seems like, they've done these experiments where they put people on roller coasters together and they have these exciting experiences and they confuse that for sort of attraction with the other person.
Yes.
It can go negative also.
So wait, did she tell him to stop?
No, nothing. It's just things that he normally likes about her are irritating when he comes home and stops the nicotine.
Yeah, because you want to suck your thumb like the fucking baby you are because you're hooked on Smokies.
Well, or maybe it's just vape or something, or maybe it's even the lozenges. Who the fuck knows?
I've got my baby. I need to suck my thumb.
No, listen. If he started nicotine as a teenager,
I did. I started. I smoked from 13 to 30. 13 to 30.
You were able to stop?
Well, I got hypnotized. I did hypnotherapy. I read Alan Carr's The Easy Way to Quit Smoking.
It's very unusual for somebody who starts under 15 to stop.
I'm very unusual.
You are very
you know
part
why?
of the rational evolution.
Because I thought to myself, I said, smoking past 30 is suicide. Why are you fucking killing? You know better.
But most of these people that are like you, we put on nicotine replacement, gum, lozenges, and just keep them on. Don't even think about taking them off.
You don't need that shit. Because to me, it was behavioral.
When did we become such pussies?
I don't know. I don't buy this. That it's the nicotine. Like, yeah, it gives you a little something. But I do think it's the behavior that I was addicted to. Mm-hmm. Take a time out, go outside, collect your thoughts, focus, whatever. And now he's mad at his mommy. But, he's transferring. You're right. This missing a habit, go fuck your wife instead. Why don't you fuck your wife instead of smoke cigarettes? And don't start eating, because then you're going to get fat.
So Jordan Peterson got a bunch of trouble the other day for saying, if your spouse is interested in you and you're like, you're like, nah, he's like, fucking get it together. Have sex with your spouse.
I agree.
Dr. Laura used to say that.
Yep.
And people could vilify her for saying that. But there's a certain...
I know.
In being in a relationship long term, you need to do that.
You do, because you're his only source for that.
And by the way, it can work the other way too. I mean, I don't think a male spouse should ever. I mean, it's very.
They really don't ever say no, do they?
Yeah, some of them do as it gets on later, but I would never. Are you kidding?
My husband would never. No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, do you want to eat awesome steak? And you know what I mean? Like, do you want a dessert? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you say no to that? Just bang. And also, I know it's hard when you have kids and you're like tired and you hate him and you hate your life, but that's what alcohol is for. Like, drink wine and fuck. Like, shut up. Put the kids to sleep. Close the door.
And fuck.
Have a glass of red wine. Relax. Get out of mommy mode. It's very difficult, but fuck.
And by the way, invest in a barrel bolt to your bedroom. Just a fucking barrel bolt. Everything else, your kids will get through. They'll take a knife and open the door and shit. Mommy. They do that all the way into adulthood.
How many times did they catch you guys?
We had one son that was like radar. I know. We knew, we were like, okay, what are we going to do to get away from him? How are we going to, what's he doing? But they all would do it. As soon as you shut a door, they want to open it. It's bottom line.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why I like to wait until the kids are passed out, just totally asleep.
Anything new from them? I heard there was a banana peel in the chandelier.
Oh, yeah. I got banana in my chandelier. I found a new hole in the staircase. Oh, my 4-year-old broke not one, but 2 televisions. The first one I didn't know about because I was on the road, and I don't know if someone texted me about it, but I didn't register it. And then the other day I was like, is that a fucking is that broken? Is my television
like a big
shattered?
Crack through it,
yeah. And I thought that was the first offense. So I obviously disciplined that offense.
So did he throw something at it or did he hit it with something?
Oh, this one's amazing. He took a gigantic fork, like a salad fork, big one, and started just smashing.
Why? Was he trying to get somebody on TV's attention or
no.
something?
He was going through anger.
This was the little one did this.
Yeah.
Isn't that normally the big one's domain?
Yeah. No, but the big one knows better because he knows if he does that
he's in trouble.
His shit's over. So this one's learning. The other one's learning.
I see.
Where that boundary lies.
Does he still call you names, the older one?
Cracker is still, no, he doesn't call me Cracker anymore. But he calls me daddy lately, and he calls Tom mommy, which is so funny, and I fully encourage it.
You guys start laughing at it immediately, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I love when he calls us names, and he'll be like, "Mommy, can I call you poo poo papa poo poo mama?" And I'm like, "You sure can, because I don't care." Like, I'm unoffendable, and I think that's going to be a problem because I think most moms are like, "Oh my God, don't say that shit," and I'm like,
"Oh no, yeah, whatever."
Yeah,
they've choose your battles wisely. That's very important. Oh, very important.
Well, here's the deal, man: is that he's not getting in trouble at school, neither of them. And I ran into the 4-year-old's teacher, and I'm like, "Does he say shit or fuck at school?" And she's like, "No, he's the model of good behavior."
The older one.
Well, yeah, that guy too. Now he's straightened his shit out.
Wow.
I had one incident where he said, "What the hell?" in the hallway, and the teacher heard it, and well, whatever. He corrected it. He goes, "I meant to say what in the world?" Oh. Yeah.
What in the world? And is there an update on your dad
smart.
also? We haven't heard from him for quite some time.
I know.
Is he around? Is he?
I think he's like somewhere in the desert with a lady.
God, I'm fascinated by that man.
I know. I think you should get to know him.
I've asked you a million times. I'll go make a house call. Oh, this would be more than Robert Paul.
Oh my God.
This would be amazing. We would bring cameras.
Dark. It's so dark with him. I don't know I'm still like,
What does your therapist say? You have to reattend?
No.
Stay away.
No, my therapist is like, "No, you don't." I'm like, "Okay, I don't want to."
Well, you have to kind of think through, like, if he passes away, are you going to have any issues?
No.
Because there's
people said that with my mom, and I didn't. I have, to this day, it's been 7 years since her passing. 0 fucking regrets.
I'm gonna predict that that's different
with Dad. Why?
Because that's a different disorder that he has.
Cool.
Yeah. She is not capable of anything, and you would definitely get nothing.
Well, how do you know my dad's capable?
He's at least capable of being entertaining. And of probably expressing love when it suits him. You know what I mean? Your mom's
when it
not,
suits him.
Right.
Well, what did you do with your parents? Did you?
My dad redeemed himself by being an amazing grandfather.
I didn't get that, bro.
We don't know. You don't give him a chance. Maybe he
did.
would. Oh, yeah.
And
when they were infants. What'd he do?
No, he goes, I come back when they're 4. They're boring at this age.
Now, at least he put you on notice. He couldn't deal with it at the baby age. They're now above 4, so it's time. I'm just saying. And I'm not...
Sorry, you're giving me major anxiety.
So hold on. So let me just tell you. So
why would I deal with it?
And he and I never fully. There's still things I wish I had talked to him about. And when he died, I was still very grateful and was thankful.
But he came around.
He came around. My mom, no.
No, because she was super.
No. She was like your mom.
Yeah, out of it.
And so I just took the position that I will get nothing from this relationship.
Yeah.
But there's certain things I need to do for myself to be a good son.
Oh, I don't feel that.
Towards your dad.
None.
There's not things you need to do to be the daughter of your dad for you.
No.
Okay.
I feel like I've done that. I feel like I did that my whole life. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I accommodated him all my life.
Yeah. I'm not saying accommodating him. I'm saying doing what you need to do for you to when he passes away or whatever. You said, geez, I did for myself good daughtering, even though I got nothing out of her. He was an asshole. He didn't he disappointed the way he always does.
No.
Okay.
Here's what I would be more disappointed about, real talk, is if I gave energy to that problem versus to my own children.
Oh, no. You can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. And right now...
No, you would not give energy to it. I'm not suggesting that.
0.0.
Yeah.
And I feel like by doing that, I'm putting energy towards something where my obligation is to my children and my husband.
Well, if he would reactivate all the bullshit if he were to come back into your life,
he kind of does that. He does do that.
Yeah, so
that's the pattern we've had, Drew, is that I will try to be like, hey, can you be normal? And then he can fake it for like 2 seconds and then here comes crazy town. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to do the boundary shit. But you're right. I will reach out to him at some point. How about when I find out he's dying?
When he's actually dying, in the process of dying.
Yeah. Like he's in hospice. I'm like, I'm over there.
Yeah, when he's...
Hey. Are we cool? High five.
Fully defanged. Fully emasculated.
Yes. Like, oh, he's so frail. And I'm like, I love you, Dad. And he's like, I love you. And then that's it.
And do you know the current girlfriend at all? Or do we know anything about her?
No, she's younger than me. I know she's from some country.
Natasha?
Like, no.
Oh,
he goes
Philippines.
Asian.
Oh,
yeah.
he likes...
I don't know if he likes. He just went like this time around. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
This time around.
Yeah. I don't know.
Was he just a total asshole to women?
I think he is a sex addict. So I think it's not a matter of like being an active a-hole. I think that the need to like self-soothe is greater than the need to think about other people, which I'm sure you understand.
Like any addiction, it's a preoccupation.
Yeah. Was your dad into any addictive?
No. He was no. Thank goodness, no. That was not his thing. He was just straight up. He was you would think he was the greatest guy on earth, but it sort of that was a covert narcissism. He was a narcissist,
but he didn't have any addictions.
No.
He was just an asshole.
He was not an asshole. It's different. The narcissism is very. He's like my dog. He needed to be all about him all the time.
Yeah.
And anything that diverted from him and what his needs were met with extreme aggression. With like destructive impulses.
Yes. I think I got some of that in my fam too.
Well, your mom for sure would do that.
Well, my dad's a little immaturity of like, why aren't you paying attention to me? Like kicking and stomping.
That's very
feet.
different.
Yeah.
That's the alcoholic addict stuff. Is he alcoholic too?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, come on, what do I not have in the family? It's like...
Well, let's go to some calls, shall we? We got live calls lined up. This is going to be great.
I'm so excited. I got to text my nanny back. Don't be rude.
Here's a good one, Christina P. Here we go. This is Amy from New Hampshire. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hey there. Welcome to the first call of the whole series, Amy. Congratulations.
A girl.
Yeah. And by the way, our female callers, listen, nothing against our male callers, but I prefer our female callers.
Of course, obvi.
Yeah. All right, Amy, what's going on?
So I'm calling regarding my husband. Every few months or so, he has periods of vomiting for a whole day, sometimes longer.
Yep.
He can't hold down any food, any liquids. A couple of times he's gone to the hospital. This has been going on for a few years now.
How long has he been smoking weed excessively? Hyperemesis, cannabis hyperemesis. I cannot.
I'm going to put you on speaker because he can hear you. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a banger already.
What was your question?
I said, how long has he been smoking weed heavily? Because cannabis hyperemesis has become so freaking. My own daughter had it, and we saw multiple gastroenterologists, and no one ever asked, "Are you smoking weed?" And it causes these episodes of extreme vomiting, and people are very unhappy, and they get told that it's reflux and it's their gallbladder and blah blah blah, but we can't do anything about it. It's the weed. And it's unfortunate, and you can kind of get it under control if you stop smoking so much. That's probably how he gets it under control. Probably backs off, and he probably isn't smoking as much all the time, and then gets into the hyperemesis. But it's very miserable, and it causes esophagitis and all those other things that the doctor says you have. Yeah,
it's funny. Sounds like vagina. Vaginas. Wait, so are you smoking pot, dude? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I smoke for pain management, usually in the evenings. I don't smoke all day, just in the evening. Take a few hits and get comfortable for bed. But
is it evening right now?
No.
No.
I didn't smoke this morning.
He didn't.
Okay, didn't smoke.
He woke up feeling not well this morning, actually. So this was a perfect day to call.
Okay, yeah. So that's kind of unusual to sort of only be doing it. And are you doing dabs or some heavy dosing stuff?
I did do dabs, yeah.
Yeah. So once you get to that level, that's where the hyperemesis tends to kick in. And even on occasional basis, if it's daily, it's enough to give you hyperemesis. So what's the source of the pain?
No pain right now other than just nausea, vomiting. And
no, but the typical source of pain is that he had a back injury years ago.
Yeah, stop. Taking something for back pain is a bad idea, whatever it is. You get physical therapy, do exercising, walk. Everything that alleviates the pain intensifies it over time. It's called hyperalgesia. And so you got to stop all that shit. I mean, if you really have chronic pain, you should be on something like Suboxone. And just don't stop, don't keep saying, I need the weed to relax, I need the weed for the pain. It is decent for pain, but not on a daily basis, particularly if you're having hyperemesis and chronic pain. Anything that activates that endorphin system tends to cause hyperalgesia over time. So, except for Suboxone. So, good luck, my friend. Just don't waste your money on gastroenterologists and ERs. It's pretty miserable. Like I said, my own daughter had it, and she was destroyed a fancy couch of mine. I'm still mad at her for it. And she had like spontaneous. She would have spontaneous vomiting. Like if she laid down, she'd vomit. If she's watching TV, she'd vomit.
This sounds terrible.
For like 2 years, and nobody ever asked her, "Do you smoke? Are you dabbing? Do we?" Now she's sober a year. So all of it went away. All of it went away.
May I just point out how fun that was to watch you do? I feel like you're clairvoyant.
I'm like a mind reader.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was fucking rad, dude.
Thank you.
You were like, "Are you smoking pot?" He's like, "Yeah."
Common things happen commonly.
Yes. So I didn't know that could happen. So it happens as a result of not smoking, you said?
No, it happens from smoking. Usually a little heavier than he's doing it. But what I've noticed is once you graduate to dabbing, and it's like you're taking a blowtorch and you get this wax. And it's the crack version of weed.
Oh my
Once you graduate to
gosh.
that, that's when I see the hyperemesis tend to really go up.
Wild. I didn't even know this shit happened.
Yeah,
That was cool. I love when you nail it like that. It's
Let's
so
see.
exciting.
Let's talk to this.
You're like, his voice too. He's like, "Yeah."
Poor guy.
I'm like,
I feel bad for him, man. It's enough fun. Hi, John.
"Hi, mommy."
What's up, mommy?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me on, Dr. Drew.
You bet, buddy. Here we go. What's your question? Did we lose him?
My question is kind of a complex topic, and it's, I guess, controversial nowadays. It's regarding environmental factors that can influence sexual orientation in humans.
Oh, interesting.
To make a long story short, I read a study showing how exposure to the toxin mercury can turn heterosexual birds homosexual.
So let me before you sort of take us through the literature that you've read. Let me just tell you that there's something going on that way.
Seriously.
Well, and I don't want to take it all the way to where John, I think, wants to take it, but in terms of sperm counts being down, reproductive and testosterone's down, and I would recommend a book to you.
Testosterone is the lowest in recorded history.
Yeah, and I would recommend a book to you. Maybe you already read of it. It's called Estrogenation, Estrogenation.
Oh, you think it's all the estrogen in the soybeans?
Plastics.
Or is it the feminists taking away men's balls?
There's well, it could be all right. It could be all of the above, right?
The feminization of society.
No. Men, when they are, when they are in positions of power and they feel powerful, their testosterone tends to go up.
Sure.
So back to what we were talking about earlier with people not having sex, they're sort of timid and afraid. When do we become such pussies? We need to stand up.
Yes,
okay. It's in our best interest biologically as well as psychologically. But estrogenation, I interviewed this guy. He's a really interesting researcher. And there's a group of scientists that have grave concerns about the effects of plastics on circulating estrogen level. And the case is rather compelling. Oh, no. I don't know. And by the way, there's concerns about the vaccine and there's concerns about COVID. And there's all these things that are maybe also coming to bear on our testosterone levels. Now, how that manifests behaviorally, I'm not in a position to, even theorize, but I am concerned about it.
Dr.
Yeah, buddy.
Just really, really briefly, I just want to tell you what I read. It's very interesting. There's a study from the University of Florida showing how mercury exposure conclusively turns heterosexual birds homosexual.
No, I understand what you're saying. Birds are dinosaurs. Very different systems. I understand. I know there's a lot of stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff out there.
Mercury also acts as an endocrine disruptor in humans. And there's studies showing how mercury is a causative factor in autism. And then there's studies showing how those on the autism spectrum with a clinical diagnosis have a significantly higher likelihood of identifying as LGBT.
But can't you find studies for everything?
But he is onto something though that there are concerns. I'm not going to take a position on this, but people have raised concerns. It's not the LGBT; it's more on the T side. That there's a significant transgender population that have spectrum-y types of stuff, and people are wondering whether that
correlation.
Whether that should be addressed is really sort of the question. Is that just the way it is? And it should be addressed. But
mercury can turn birds gay.
I'm gonna stop what your mercury is converting.
Is that the next T-shirt?
Birds
Mercury turns birds gay.
You get way more exposure to mercury eating salmon than just about anything else right now.
So eating salmon will make you want to suck dicks.
Unless
Stay
you're
away
a girl.
from salmon.
Unless you're a girl.
Right. If you're a guy,
then I don't know what happens to you. But the point is, there's many different kinds of weird research out there showing how putting rats in a high density population makes them gay. There's all this stuff out there. Don't spend any time with that. I think the thing that's interesting.
Go get laid, kid. Right? Go eat some red meat.
That's how the boomers did it.
Put some lead in your pencil.
That's what the
Get off the computer.
What happened, John? By the way, thank you for the call. I think it's actually an excellent point, and it gave me the opportunity to recommend that book for people that are interested in that. But whatever happened to fun? When people are thinking about their health, they often forget about hydration, and I certainly was reminded of that when I was in the desert. I wished I'd had Liquid IV. You have no idea how I wanted it to be there. They make it easy for you. It comes in these pre-prepared packages. You just, one stick, which is what this is, added to 16 ounces of water, hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. I always say that water is one thing, but you need fluid, you need solute, you need water with something in it to really replace blood volume, fluid volume in your body. 5 essential vitamins, B3, 5, 6, 12, vitamin C, 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. So this does a better job of hydrating you. It's almost like an oral IV. That's why they call it Liquid IV. Premium ingredients, non-GMO. Liquid IV is also on a mission to change the world. To date, Liquid IV has donated over 36 million servings in over 50 countries worldwide. I want you to grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Dr. Drew at checkout. That's DRDREW. That is 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code Dr. Drew at liquidiv.com. I want you to go to liquidiv.com right now and use that promo code Dr. Drew.
I know. I agree. It's and you know what's interesting, and I see it in the entertainment industry. Go to Apple TV and just see what the new movies are. It is like bummer, other bummer, double bummer, bummer classic. But it's like, dude, when are we? I feel like this is a reiteration of the 70s because you were telling me that the 70s were a bummer.
Oh,
I feel like
so. But They were a bummer. Things were really fucked up.
Well, things are really fucked up in this time.
Things are psychologically fucked up. We're in such a better place in terms of restaurants and lifestyle and things we can do and getting around and low price flying. So many things are cool. The phone and the computer. There's so many things that are amazing now. In the 70s, everything was a bummer. Everything was a bummer. And every TV show, go watch some 70s sitcoms. Everything. Dad's coming home. He's African American. Goes, son, just no work for people like me out there. And he was right. There was nothing for anybody, and especially if you were of color, it was terrible.
But the Zoomers are saying there is no work for everybody. Am I right, Zoomers? That there's no work. Where's Josh Zolo? Is
no
he
work
Zoomer?
that they want.
No Zoomers in here.
No work that they want.
Well,
it's
look,
different.
they're
but I don't
saying
blame them for
it's
that.
tough
By the
for
way,
them.
it is tough for them. I get it.
But can I tell you something? I'm having a party because I love TikTok. I love. This culture is great for fun. I think if you allow yourself to have it, it's there for the taking.
It's part of this. We did not include this in the rational revolution, but fun needs to be part of the rational revolution.
I mean,
I think Benjamin Franklin was having fun.
He was having fun.
He was, taking air baths nude.
I don't know what that is. Is that maybe because of the pandemic and people were trapped inside and they were told having fun would kill grandma? So, you know what I mean? So maybe we're in a refractory.
Yes, I think that
period.
was the final phase of the end of fun. It was already well underway.
Well, look at entertainment. There's no fun in entertainment.
A
Show
friend of
business,
mine
no fun right
pointed out something that I thought was kind of interesting. We were talking about the Me Too thing and how it was,
that was no fun.
It was no fun.
That was the unfunnest time.
And it kind of went a little, I don't want to say it was non-justified, but it went too far in terms of there being no due process or anything.
Yeah.
And she said, we were sort of primed to that because of the way Trump talked about women. I thought, that's interesting.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
It's like it really was a pent up feeling of disrespect and aggression that broke out in the Me Too thing. I thought, that's interesting.
Yeah, because he was too much of a relic. Like he was way too 80s fun.
Yes.
And people were like, dude, what are you doing? Just shut up. Get off Twitter.
But isn't that interesting? Maybe that's part of the problem now. Maybe that is so culturally offensive that the fun got painted with that brush. If you're going to touch what does he say? Put your hand on their pussy or something? Or what was his?
Oh, grab him by the pussy.
Grab him by the pussy.
I mean, look, and does that guy still exist? Not Trump per se, but that type of guy.
This is why I got to talk to your dad.
Yeah. but like let him exist. Who gives a shit? Like if you want to grab him by the pussies, good luck.
Stay in the desert.
Don't grab my pussy. No. Like fuck right off. But you're right. And I noticed an overcorrection with the younger kids. Yeah, because I try to talk to them and they're so polite. They're just too proper. But I think it's a surveillance culture as well. If you look at the internet, the social media, imagine every time you post a picture growing up, some cunt can write whatever they want under it and insult you. Or any video you post gets insulted. There's no private space to incubate and become. So I think there's something to that too.
Yes.
Where everything is so highly Imagine that vacuum of criticism.
And you're 15.
I can't. I could never.
No.
I could never. I mean, I deal with it now I've been in 20 years in show business and I'm still like, no thanks, not reading that.
Yeah.
I protect myself because I know better.
Yes.
But not a 15-year-old.
Let's see. Let's talk to Sean from Boston. I hope he's from Southie. We've got a good accent going here. Sean.
Hey, Dr. Jeans.
Hey, buddy. Hi, Mommy.
Good one.
So I'm calling to ask, I started getting gout attacks when I was 27, just like my older brother and my father.
Good boy.
I'm 32 now. Before they were maybe about once a year, and I'd say I probably drink close to the level of Brent crystals, so pretty often.
Bert.
I was just wondering because now they're coming on like every 2 months or so.
Oh boy.
And they can be debilitating. I have a labor job.
So hold on, Sean. So gout is really painful. If people have not had gout, it is horrible. It's an acute inflammatory joint. And any unilateral, asymmetrical, acute synovitis is often gout. And it's the podagra is the typical one. It's in the toe. Do you get it in your first joint in the toe?
Yeah, it started in the toe.
Yeah, but then it goes to elbow and wrist.
It's inflammation.
Most recently, I got it on my knee.
So see the lower right hand corner there, that red. That is hot to the touch. That's a mild one. Hot to the touch, and it's like pus accumulating in the joint. It's awful.
Ben Franklin had gout. That's because he partied.
He partied and he was overweight. So
He's
are you
a big
overweight?
fatso.
Yeah, and he had the genetics. Are you overweight also?
255, 6 foot.
Yeah,
Got
so
a bit of a gut.
big guy.
Yeah, a
a
bit,
little
and
overweight.
then alcohol makes it worse.
big,
But here's the deal, man. There are medication for this, and why aren't you taking it?
Well, I take indomethacin when it happens.
No, there's
and
medicines
I've been told
to prevent it. There's a whole array now. Some of them are very good. There's old-fashioned stuff like probenecid to increase the urate excretion from your kidneys. There's a Xyloprim, you know.
Well,
yeah.
I was calling to ask because I've been told Xylopram and also alpurinol is what I believe older
same.
people in
It's
my
the same.
family take.
It's the same. Does that work for them?
I was in the yeah, it does.
Okay.
I was thinking though, just in the meantime, because I'm like a couple months away from hitting my health insurance at my job. Just something to supplement in the meantime. Is there
your only hope, my friend, is lots of water and lots of fluid, and cut down on the alcohol. That's the only thing they'll do. But why don't you?
What about diet? Doesn't diet contribute?
Purines in the diet, but some people it doesn't do as much as purines. Would be like shellfish.
Well, I try to avoid. Yeah, I avoid shellfish and try to avoid red meat.
What about like fatty meats?
Not fatty meats.
My previous job was working at a steakhouse.
Salty, no. Yeah, I know, and it's unfortunate because that would help your weight if you just ate meat and no the other carbohydrates and all the other crap. But here's the deal: for like $50, you could go to a telemedicine thing online and get a prescription for allopurinol, which would be like $3 or $10 or something. So for $60, I bet you get the whole thing taken care of.
Do it, buddy. Do it, Mama.
Just call like Teladoc.
Yeah, do a Teladoc thing. Huh? Say it again.
Sorry, so is that Mommy Tina there with you?
Yeah.
That is Mommy Tina.
Jeans, listen, a lot of people in my family have gout too from alcohol and bad diet and stuff, and there's no reason to suffer, Mommy. Go telehealth.
But people are so fucked up in their relationship with the healthcare system. They don't understand.
It's so expensive.
Primary care is cheap. It's expensive if you're going to the ER with a gout attack. That's $1,200 to $2,000. Just a telehealth visit could be $35.
Poor Mommy.
$50, $60, and then
that's exactly what scared me. I went to the ER once because I had gonorrhea, and I ended up with a $1,000 bill.
That's an interesting story.
You've got gonorrhea and the gout.
Everything that starts with a G.
That's so cool.
Gout.
Thomas Aquinas had the gout too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, gonorrhea, dude.
Luckily, my dick doesn't swell up though.
That's good. That's good.
Dick gout. Do you get gout? There's no joints in your dick.
No,
right?
but you notice that Sean's been looking out for it. He's worried that it might. No, it does not. It's good for you. Except when you get the gonorrhea, you get all kinds of pain with that. But the thing about gonorrhea right now, it's multi-resistant gonorrhea.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that means they can't kill it with drugs.
Well, what'd you have to take? What'd they give you?
They gave me a couple shots. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. Though.
Okay, so it's before the real resistance.
Good for you. You're having fun. You're getting laid.
Go shop. Find a Teladoc. It's the simplest thing in the world to treat this. And they are generic medicines. And remember, generic medicines are cheap. They're inexpensive.
Yeah,
they're nothing.
It's good that you're saying that because I didn't know that was a possibility. It's like telehealth, and then they just write you a script, and then it comes in the mail or whatever.
That's it. Or you go to the pharmacy and
good.
get it. I mean, it's so ridiculous that people are so afraid of the healthcare system that they wait until they go to the ER. When you walk into an ER, you're paying for all of that. Those nurses, that machinery, all that infrastructure. You're paying for that when you walk in the door, as opposed to a doctor sitting on the phone with no office overhead, who can make $150 an hour doing 4 calls an hour and will take your information and listen to you.
Dude, I remember when I went to the ER when I was 26, I fell off a Razor scooter and they gave me a Vicodin and they charged me $600 for like 2 Vicodin. I'm like, are you fucking insane?
The for a pharmacy
the
did?
ER. Because they gave it to me in the ER.
Oh, really? But then that was back in the day when the prices were different than the cost were different than the prices, kind of thing. Like, yeah, it was all fucked up.
That was crazy.
Hey man, I brought in when Susan was in with her high risk pregnancy. I brought in all her meds. We bought them from the outside, and they charged us for them as though they were administering them.
It's like it's like when you have to bring wine to the restaurant, the corkage fee.
This is more than corkage. More than corkage.
Oh, it's retarded.
Oh, here's Adam Carolla calling me. Should we?
Hi, Adam. Yeah.
Adam, sorry, man. I'm actually doing a show right now, a podcast. You're on the microphone. Say hi to Christina P.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Christina.
How are you? We're just talking about how everybody's a pussy and nobody gets screwed. I mean, gets laid and stuff.
Sex is down. Everyone's a pussy, and why?
It's got to be biological. to some degree. I feel like the biological is steering the sociological.
Oh.
Well, that's what we were talking about. I recommended this book, Estrogen Nation, and that testosterone levels are down, estrogen is up, and we need to kind of return to the basics.
Well, I mean, think about everybody, all the dudes are just walking around with an extra 20 pounds on them. That's not going to help with the testosterone.
Yeah.
Right.
And Drew, something you said to me many years ago, which was a study that said when guys got into the position of power, they had higher testosterone levels.
I brought that up a few minutes ago. Yep. That's absolutely categorically true.
Well, nobody wants to be in a position of power now because you're attacked.
Yeah.
Well, the goddamn feminists.
Everyone's putting on flip-flops and board shorts and pretending like they're not in the position of power.
Yeah.
So that's got to be some of it.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's interesting.
Agreed. And then, as you say, women are sort of in charge and men are afraid. Men are sort of they're sticking with the porn and not having relationships and not having fun.
Yeah, I would just say, because I don't want to hijack your podcast. I feel bad. I think
no, you
women.
Don't.
Okay, you're right. I would say this about women: be careful what you ask for, because you're getting what you asked for the last 30 years, and it's not good.
Yeah.
Which part? The going to the military? I think that's terrible. I don't want to do that.
Men are sort of they're sort of becoming more feminized, and they are less male in their orientation. And one thing I hear from women all the time is, "Where are the men? Where are the men? Where are no men?" Yeah, they're all like you. They're all chicks.
Right, but remember this from the past. Machismo.
Oh yeah.
Remember, like in the 70s and 80s, big macho man. I don't need you to hold the door open for me. All that crap, it's all come home to roost now. And now the woman and the man are in bed in the middle of the night and they hear something downstairs and they got to play rock, paper, scissors to figure out who's going to go check it out.
It's true.
Is that what you wanted?
I know, it's
you got
tough.
It. Now you got it.
But then there's good stuff. Like I'll say, Adam, that I like going to like when I perform stand-up comedy, I like that the younger men in the audience are accustomed to seeing women be funny. Versus when I came up 20 years ago, it was a bunch of older dudes with their arms crossed. Like, oh, this bitch is going to talk. So like there's some good stuff to the feminization of the male.
Absolutely.
But I do agree that like I don't want to clean sewage drains. I don't want to go to war. I don't want to do guy stuff. Like that's not for me.
Well,
I think the moral of the story is there's always good stuff sprinkled in with the movement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's whatever it is in society that we're talking about, like there's always some good stuff, but now it's time to weigh the good stuff and the bad stuff. In my mom's sort of hippie fever dream, we were going to make men into women, but we were going to keep all the good stuff.
Right, which is anathema.
Get rid of the bad stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so the idea of getting rid of any characteristic doesn't sound desirable.
That great. All right, my friend, we're going to go back to potting here. Thank you. I'll call you later.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, Godspeed.
Godspeed.
I feel like if the three of us got together, you, me, and Adam, we could solve all the world's problems.
Instantly.
But thank God we're all so brilliant.
I want to go back to what you were saying about how we used to call out people with their trauma.
Yeah.
What we would do.
Oh, this is my favorite.
You don't remember. The person would call in.
It was a girl usually.
No, the guys the women were easier because the voice was so apparent. So it would put us on alert immediately that we got to tune in and figure out what is this. She would say, we would try to do it as quickly as possible. Like before more than like 3 sentences in, put her on hold.
Yeah.
And we'd pull out our wallets.
Okay.
And we go, $1. $1. I'll bet you $1 that I can predict this girl was abused, stepdad,
6.5,
or summer camp. We just could feel it. We could just
the nature of the trauma, the nature of the abuse.
It was transmitted to us. We could feel the age. I would close my eyes and I'd hear them talking, and I just imagine what's the age of the individual I hear talking. This is a 8-year-old, a 10-year-old. Okay, 10. So something arrested her development at 10. And so we'd start with, we'd make our bed, and we'd say, physical abuse, summer camp, whatever.
It was fucking so funny.
And we were never wrong. One of us always got it right.
And he'll be like, Adam would be like, I'm going to go with.
Yes.
I'm going to go
with stepdad.
Yes. I'm going to say stepdad.
And oftentimes it would be things like drug addicts in the home, chaos, parents split, physical domestic violence, and one of the mommy's friends was a drug addict and touched me when I was sick.
Stop. It's
that kind
terrible.
of thing, which was so common.
I know. It's life.
Well, it's not life. That was not normal. I'm telling you, people go, oh, it's always been that way. We're just finally talking about it. Fuck that.
You think so?
When have there been so many drug addicts around? That was the first thing. The drug addiction went off the chain. That marriages all of a sudden weren't lasting. Domestic violence was way up. And by the way, in the 70s, in the cool 70s, whatever you're into, man, it was good. Kids are just like little sexual beings.
Don't even. I'm gonna fucking puke. All right. Let's try. Let's try with. Well, I can't do it yet with the calls.
What?
Guessing trauma, but
we haven't had any yet. So you have to. We got to get screened for some good ones. But let's watch some videos. Should we do that?
Sure,
yeah. What have you brought me? Have you brought me any good ones?
I gotta tell you, the TikTok were like, you're just gonna have to wait. There's some good shit out there, dude. Right. I've gone deep off.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Hi, welcome to my airplane home. My name is Bruce Campbell. I'm 73 years old, and I live in a Boeing 727 jetliner in Hillsboro. This aircraft was all tourist class. There was no business class, no first class. It was tourist from flight deck all the way to the tail. This is a futon sofa. This is my primitive shower. The outdoor shower was so harsh that I had to establish at least some place where I could take an indoor shower. My lavatory. Is a temporary sink and a clothes washer. Kitchen area. Not much of a kitchen. I'm a nerd. I don't cook. 727 food service cart, which serves as my pantry.
Oh my God.
The microwave oven and the toaster oven are sufficient. And in fact, I almost never use the toaster oven. It's almost always the microwave oven.
That's
Observer,
healthy.
Inspector, captain, the sole authority for the flight. This person may bark out orders to any of the rest and they must obey. I have no regrets about pursuing this vision. It's fun. Jetliner homes are really cool.
So I have a million questions. First of all, what's with the tourist class and lavatory? His use of language was not American.
Oh, tourist class. But lavatory you hear
that's European.
Not the
somewhere.
lav.
Yeah,
the
that's somewhere else. So
maybe this is a British Airways.
I'm just saying I don't get American from this guy. It's just odd. How the fuck did that plane get out in the jungle there or wherever it is? How did it get it there? Did it crash there?
What if the irony is, because I'm assuming he doesn't have a lot of resources, which is why he's doing this. What if he's like a multi-millionaire and he's like, I flew this plane into the middle of the forest and I spent 10 million making this into my house.
It wouldn't look like that, for one thing.
But that's my wish for this man.
Yeah, but how did the plane get there? Where is it?
There's so many, a jetliner home, as if this is a common thing.
Yeah, right. Like everyone has. Yeah. I love, when it comes to these euphemisms, this bothers me actually. This is not a good thing of the current moment. That people brush over serious things with euphemisms.
Oh,
like van life. We live in a van. We just go.
You're homeless.
You're homeless. That chick that got killed by her boyfriend and then he killed himself.
Yes, I saw that.
I saw that from the beginning. This is meth addiction. These are homeless people strung out on meth. There's going to be violence. Meth is always violent. Always, always.
Yeah, that's the fun thing you taught us. Meth is always violent.
And it's so funny, too.
Cocaine runs away from the police.
Right.
Meth runs towards it.
Correct.
If you've not learned anything,
correct.
It's that.
The cocaine addicts, the crack users are hallucinating constantly about uniformed officers.
How fun. What a cool
the meth
addiction.
addicts are preoccupied with family, friends, coworkers, and neighbors.
Cool.
And call the police to save them from grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, it's good. Drugs are great.
And
Let's keep doing them.
There's actually something really important here. And so and Fed Smoker is our case in point.
Yeah.
Do you notice how he lived like that for years, strung out on meth, and paranoid, doing his thing with security guards and all?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's dead.
Yeah.
That's the way meth is. Like they go for a long time and then all of a sudden they die of something, usually sort of cardiovascular, but not necessarily. And that's what's going to happen on the street soon because there's so much meth for so long now. It's all been fentanyl death to this point, but soon the meth deaths are going to kick in.
Well, cool. I'm looking forward to those
that'll be
meth
nice. So
deaths.
we're doing such a great job with our homeless adults.
Didn't they just legalize crazy drugs in Canada?
I think they're doing stuff like that, but we're effectively that way in California.
California, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
You can use get a ticket if you're.
How's that going?
It's great. We've gone from 6 dead a day to 8 dead a day in the LA County alone.
Oh boy,
it's good. They're doing a great job.
So yeah, in Canada, granted an exemption from the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act.
Here's what they don't get, everybody. And this is the one thing they do not get.
No criminal charges.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Drug addiction is progressive.
Yeah.
No matter who's giving you the drugs, where you get the drugs, there's a progressive element to the illness always that ends in death, particularly with the opiates. And so even if it's a nurse giving you your heroin, it's going to progress. And they just in massive denial about that. It's really bad times. All right, we're going to talk to Rachel. Ooh. We're getting very medical here. This is kind of...
It's exciting.
You like that?
I like using my degree in medicine.
Yours? Mm-hmm. Good. Let's see what we can do for Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Rachel.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hi, Mommy.
So I have a medical question for you.
Go ahead.
I am 30 years old, and when I was 2, I was hospitalized for a fever that was ongoing. And eventually, I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. They gave me medicine and sent me home. And I never had any other issues as a kid. My parents never followed up. I was fine. And then as an adult, now I have like hand and feet stiffness, especially when I wake up in the morning. Not always, but frequently. And all the doctors tell me I don't have it. I've had my rheumatoid factor checked as an adult, and it always comes back negative.
Interesting.
So my question is, what does my future look like?
I wonder...
Is something weird happening?
Something weird is happening. I mean, it's not the usual deal, but I wonder if you have something called mixed connective tissue disease, MCTD, we used to call it.
Okay.
And it's sort of a crossover syndrome where people get features of various rheumatic conditions. Have you seen a rheumatologist yet?
I have not. No, I never get that far because they tell me I don't have any problems.
You need to see. There's that morning stiffness is such a specific symptom of rheumatic disease that and you don't have other sorts of joint problems through the day or anything. It's always the stiffness, the morning stiffness.
Sometimes I have like burning in my feet. Like they've told me kind of neuropathy might be an issue.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's related to what you were speaking about.
I mean, again, you need a proper workup. You've not had the real deal workup. And
yes, and don't listen to people when they go, "Oh, you don't have it." Go to the specialist. Where does she need to go?
Rheumatologist. Rheumatologist.
Go, sweetie. Go.
One of the things that COVID has taught us, interestingly, is that by looking at long COVID, we've started to look at other chronic fatigue type syndromes like other post-viral illnesses, Lyme disease, and we're finding lots of commonalities amongst these syndromes, and there is active inflammation in the brain in a lot of these things. Lo and behold, and forever we told people just do it. Now the interesting thing is things like antidepressants, not for your thing so much, but for things like chronic COVID or chronic Epstein-Barr, that kind of stuff, they do work. But it may work because they have anti-inflammatory properties.
Oh, that's interesting.
So things like fluvoxamine and Prozac are anti-inflammatory via something called the sigma-1 system. Isn't that interesting? So it's all, but you need a proper workup. There's something going on. The morning stiffness is a very characteristic thing of rheumatic disease. And that's the thing with rheumatoid arthritis. You go, what you ask the patient is, do you have morning stiffness? Yes. How long does it take you to get up and start moving? Sometimes it's 45 minutes just to get the joints moving. Can you imagine how awful that feels?
Terrible.
Yeah.
God
Nasty.
damn it.
Things could be worse, Christina P.
Hey.
You have your health. Your kids are healthy.
Can I tell you, that's the best thing in the world. That's the biggest blessing. God damn it.
And did I see...
and being attractive, I think, is pretty great, too. And having white teeth.
Well, I know that's important to you.
I think white teeth are probably the biggest blessing.
Do you use whiteners?
Of course I do.
Do you have to? Because aren't those all veneers?
No, just the front two are veneer.
Okay.
And then I...
You got to get everything to match up.
I use the whitening trays from my dentist every so while. I got to do it.
How often?
Oh, once a quarter.
Oh, that's
brighten them right up.
You do the whole full deal.
Tray.
The full real thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they just put the tray in with the gel.
But they have stuff they can do. You can do every couple of weeks if you want. You know.
I'm not that heavy into it. I like to live my life. I enjoy my coffee and such.
But your teeth are so white all the time.
So are yours.
But I use them every few weeks. I use them.
What do you do? Tray?
The tray, yeah.
Every few weeks.
Because I have to wear a retainer anyway, so I'll just put a little something in there.
Oh, that's so sexy. Does
Nice.
Susan
She
love
loves
your
it.
retainer?
Yeah. It's good for the vag.
Yeah.
It dries the vag.
That's such a vag lubricant. When a man talks about his retainer.
And by the way, if you go down there when that stuff's seeping out from around the retainer, it can burn. Right?
Cool. Wow.
Does it turn on for you?
So hot.
Hey, did I see Tom and Bert interviewing Tom's trainer? Is that?
Oh, maybe Shane? Sean?
Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
What?
He's great.
No,
I think
I
you're
saw a
thinking of
female.
Adriana Chechik.
Oh, yeah. What's her deal?
She's a porn star.
She's a porn star.
Why did he say? They said he was his. I didn't watch the whole episode. They said this is
I
his
won't
trainer.
watch it. I don't know.
Oh, she's a.
She seemed lovely. She was here, and I got to meet her in passing.
Yeah.
But I try not to watch Two Bears because I'm like, I don't need to know. I don't want to know. That's his
The
other
shit that
thing.
Bert pulls out of Tom.
No thanks. Don't need it.
That's that part of Tom. Yeah, it's funny. I have people. You guys sort of did this to me. You pull out those 14-year-old parts of yourself.
But of course, those are fun.
They're deeply submerged, but they're there and they can come out.
Yeah.
And I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Rational Revolution, everybody. Let's see another video. Oh, this guy's cool.
So this is a whole line of talks I've curated. These are men doing martial arts in their apartments. And, they just like to show you their cool moves.
Do they talk about it when they come back to the camera or anything?
Sometimes there's one guy that's like, okay, this move, he's got his nunchucks and he'll like walk you through what he's doing.
Do they think, are they sharing with other dudes? Are they trying to press women?
It's both. I think it's both. It's like, look how strong and fit I am. And then like maybe girls will like it too.
Oh, it seems like that's a strategy that would fail pretty quickly. And if they would get some immediate feedback, Are there women that would like that kind of thing? No, right?
No, only troubled women.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
Oh, what's that, Andy? What are you saying? There's some women that like it?
Oh, there's a bitch for everyone. Yeah, what you mean? Some bitch out there likes that. She's like, damn, he's really swinging those nunchucks. Fuck, how's he do that? For sure.
There's a bitch for everyone.
Describe that woman to me. What is she like?
She's
Describe
overweight.
the nunchuck woman?
Yeah,
she's
fat. She's overweight. She's living in a trailer, that kind of thing. Or
I mean, I'm not a damn.
Profile it.
Damn. I mean, I'm not a nunchuck twirler, so I wouldn't know what that community is like. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? It occurs to me. You can help us with this, Annie. You have two white people up here talking about female preferences and stuff. I bet there's ethnic differences amongst, whether it's Asian or black or whatever, that are subtle that we're not aware of.
Well, meaning the nunchuck community is white, guys.
No, I'm just saying. No. I'm saying about what women find attractive.
Oh, that's interesting.
And we can't get at that unless we get some help. So anything we can, we just can't.
And you're half black.
Yeah, I'm half. Yeah. Well, hold up. Wait, you saying?
I'm saying that I bet there are
you
subtle.
You want to know how to pull a black chick? Is that what you're asking me? What you asking me?
Well, yeah. Now that you mention it,
in a roundabout way.
That was sort of what I was getting at.
How would Dr. Drew pull a black chick?
No,
that's a great question.
Okay, go ahead. Let's have at it. Let's get there.
Oh, you don't got. You already pull black chicks. I bet you.
Why would that be? How would you know that?
Black chicks love you. You're Dr. Drew.
Why?
Bro.
Why would that be?
Cause you smart as fuck. You a man's man. You know what the fuck?
So smart
as
black
fuck.
women. That's the point. So black women have very good instincts, right? They like
Dude,
smart. They're healthy. They find that attractive. It's not like what else you got. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, white girl community. I can speak for white girls.
Yes.
And
we like you too.
It's all over the map. Sometimes bitches like stupid shit. Like
sometimes bitches be stupid.
Yeah, like he's just like looks hot, and those are the superficial white girls.
Yes. So that's all trauma.
Yeah.
That's all fitting with trauma. It fits.
But most of the time, my white girl friends are like, ew, but he's not attractive enough, or he's like, ew, like this guy may be a 10 on every other level, but because he's not aesthetically perfect, they'll be like, ew, fuck that guy.
Women didn't used to be.
What are you doing?
Women didn't used to be like that.
No, because I think
I don't know if that might even be an
social media thing,
but it might be an improvement to ask more of men.
I don't know. Here's what I'm saying though. Okay, is I would take a physical 5, but that guy's got everything else. Morality. Maybe he's got a career that he's passionate about. He's got a great future ahead of him. He's
and
a
I
good
would argue
human.
that men are getting better that way too, in terms of what they want from women.
Okay, I
That's
don't
a good
know.
thing.
I don't
That's
know.
a good thing.
But,
I mean, they were very visual. We're very, very visual. That's just the way it is. But that they are sort of understanding that there's more.
that women are human? Yeah, there's definitely.
Not that you're human. They don't think that.
Oh, okay. Thank God. It's so boring.
No, that in terms of offering something for a relationship, that they've got to kind of look beyond that initial. Because men fall in love very easily. When there's love at first sight, they're usually talking about a man.
Yeah.
And
those are stalkers too. Oh my God, there's the best show on Netflix. And I thought about you. It's called My Lover, My Killer.
Oh.
And I don't watch this kind of stuff, but I dialed in for Tom because he loves murder.
It's a scripted thing, or
it's a UK show, and it's about what? Stalker men.
Yeah.
Primarily, and there's a few psycho women in the bunch, but it's basically like, hey ladies, if a guy is doing this, these are red flags, he will fucking kill you eventually, or these abusers, and it just tracks these relationships. So you're like, oh, this guy's ramping up, he's stalking, this guy's ramping up.
Good morning, Julia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and you always talk about stalker behavior, and especially with direct messaging and all these ways. Boom, boom, boom. Ladies, watch this. My Lover, My Killer. If you're wondering if the guy you're with is a psycho.
We are so crazy as men. We really are.
I know.
Especially when it comes to women, we just can't handle it. We get overwhelmed.
But yeah, because we always talk about the stalker guy, and and it's scary how. You're just like, the family is always like, oh, we sensed that he was a creep, but we did nothing. And I'm like there's this one nice dad who's just like a sweet beta, my daughter called the police and she was very polite. And I was like, no. You know how you stop this shit? You, dad, you and your friends, you get you and 5 of your fucking friends together and you go to this douchebag's house and you threaten to fucking break his legs if he talks to your daughter again. Yeah. But see, that kind of stuff is discouraged, don't you think, in today's?
Yes. Oh my God.
Like if someone was stalking your girl, wouldn't you be like, hey, fuck face?
Yeah.
Or hire someone else?
No. You have to look. I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that's spiraling out of control right now, and it's not just stalking behavior, it's some of the political stuff, and it's everything that's sort of excessive right now. People are going, that's crazy. I'm in the upside down, right? A lot of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You feel that way?
Yeah.
All I have is my clinical experience, right? And in the psychiatric hospital, we would get a lot of that. And here's what we would do. And often, particularly with these narcissistic disorders and people start getting demanding and escalating, they have to be contained. We would get a group of people, we'd have a show of force, and we'd walk over and he'd go, cut it out. Stop it. Cut the fuck out. You hear me?
Yeah.
Anybody disagree? Stop it. Just stop.
Yeah.
And you know what they would do? I'm so wounded. Oh, I didn't mean anything. Yeah, fine. That's the narcissism, right? They go from inflated to wounded and ashamed. And you just go, no, stop, because they will hurt people.
Yeah.
And this is where that goes. This is the extreme version of that. You must tell people to cut it out.
Fuck off. Fuck right off.
Don't fuck right off, because who knows
fuck
where
off and die.
You can do it in a you can do it in a firm way without being aggressive or denigrating.
It's like a toddler where you're like, no, stop it.
Stop it.
Stop
it right now. And you got to mean it.
Yeah.
And there has to be a show of force. One-on-one, it's hard. But if you get 2, 3, 4 people together, just
guys,
go, stop.
How about a fun TikTok, guys?
All right, let's do a TikTok.
Okay, let's do a TikTok. You don't stop.
I'm ending my non-monogamous relationship. Okay, hear me out. I'm not having a breakup with my main partner.
Oh.
We're still together. We are going back to monogamish life. Yeah. I'll get into it. As many of you know, my partner and I have been trying polyamory for about the last 7-8 months. And we have officially decided to go back to being exclusive with each other in most cases. I want to have this conversation because I don't think a lot of people have this conversation, but I do think it happens in relationships. But if people don't talk about it, people don't feel comfortable talking about it. It's a cycle, right? I'm here to talk about why we entered the relationship, why we are closing the relationship, and some of the lessons we learned in the process. That
oh my God, when you are so up in your head like this, we're
going to need coffee for this.
Oh, it's a half-hour dissertation.
When you're
There's like 3 minutes left.
When you're in your head, that is
down.
not spontaneity. That is not emotional. That's not real.
No.
That is that's something I'm concocting. And that is the worst that you can do to yourself.
That's so true. I had Rob Eiler on Where My Mom's At, and we were talking about these poly people, and he's like, it's basically guys convincing women to do shit that they know is wrong. She knows she doesn't want it, but she's like, I mean, we decided because it's the thing to do, and here's my coffee. Like, yeah, you're right. She's up in here instead of like,
some concept of the perfect person would be able to accommodate this. So I'm going to make sure that I can. I'm going to explain why I can. I can't, but I'm fucking miserable.
I'm crazy. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, and
counterintuitive.
watch the TV shows about the multi-wives things. Every one of them, you find mostly miserable women.
Yeah, of course. It doesn't work.
Miserable women that then make the man miserable.
Of course.
Yeah.
That guy's so there's a whole TikTok lane. I know what show you're talking about.
Yes.
The sister wives.
Yes.
There's a whole lane of TikToks of women who watch the show and hate Cody, the guy who's the one.
That's that one, yeah.
Cody, and they're like, Cody's such a narcissist. He thinks he's so fucking special and he's not, and all the women hate him, and yeah, it's too complicated.
It's impossible. It's impossible for two people to have a relationship.
Let alone
There's armies of therapists around just to help two people have a relationship.
Cody.
Oh God.
Fucking Cody. Look at this guy and his hair. He thinks he's such. You know, it's so great. I love when Cody gets a young one. Like he'll pick a hot young one
to bring in.
Immediately she'll balloon. Like the rest of them do, because it's misery being in that. They're all eating their feelings. No one's sucking on his D. They're sucking on fucking sub sandwiches and pizza because they're depressed.
Yeah, they all seem very depressed and they sort of settling for it and whatever. It's just awful. And women shouldn't settle for anything.
No. And they're like, Cody spends the night in my room on Tuesdays, and then Wednesday he goes to his other family. And I'm like, we're fighting for this.
Well, there is this
loser.
weird thing that women do where if a man likes other women or has been with other women and then chooses her, that somehow that's especially appealing.
You know what's funny? I read a book a million years ago. There's something about being chosen, period.
Yes.
Like there was a homeless guy on a subway. I forget what book it's from. And this author was watching a homeless man on a subway go, you, yes. You, yes. You, no. You, yes. And the author goes, God, I wanted him to say yes so bad.
Is it female?
I don't remember.
Must be a female author. Man doesn't give a shit. Man's like, get the fuck away from me.
I don't remember.
You yes means I'm going to come get you.
But there's something to being chosen and being yesed. It's
one.
Very, very, oh my gosh. This idea, what is it? Not the enmeshment, the idea that you'll be completed by the other person. No? Isn't that where that stems from?
Yes, but why you have to be, but it's always chosen amongst other women.
Of course. There's something great about that. What do you think beauty pageants are? It is in our DNA to be like, bitch, you ain't hot. I'm fucking, yeah, you're cute like this, but I got this. She's got this, but it is just a beauty pageant.
Here's how men get chosen amongst men.
Yeah.
Beating the fuck out of each other.
It's hot.
That's it.
So hot.
Gentlemen, is there any other way that men, maybe team building or whatever, being authority amongst men, being selected to be lead a team?
There's different types of hot.
That's how you do it. You just beat your chest and being like, yeah.
You beat the shit out of people.
There's different types of hot. So then there's that energy.
I'm not saying you be hot to be that. I'm just saying that's how men distinguish themselves amongst men. Themselves.
Themselves.
That's how they don't get chosen. They fucking fight it out.
Because even beta hot, there's a hierarchy amongst the beta hots. Like I'm trying to think of all the professors I used to have crushes on. They were the highest alpha of that crew. Like philosophy professors are kind of like, but in the hierarchy of that, even they were like hot, because they were like the top dog of that shit.
Look at that beta male Hollywood reporter.
I used to have a crush on Dr. Torrey, who was like the head of the philosophy department.
Yeah,
just because he was like the head of that.
But that's what I said. The leader to go into leadership positions. That's one way. Yeah. You sort of fight your way into leadership positions. You don't get chosen.
I love
you
that.
Fight. Amongst your peers. Speaking of fighting, we're going to have to fight our way to the exit here. Thank you so much for being here. It's such a privilege as always. I love doing this. Thank you for talking to Adam.
Of course, the best.
It's fun talking to him.
This is great, and I love our live calls. I can't wait to do more.
We'll do more. We will do more, and we also take emails. And do we have voice messages too? We have some, don't we?
We sure do.
And we have everything. So keep it coming, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, Mommy.
All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.